Hi, beautiful people. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are logging in from. How was your weekend? How are you preparing for a productive week? I hope. New month, new milestones, and a lot of things to be done before the end of the year. So I thank you all for coming in, for joining in. And today we are going to talk about forgiveness. What is forgiveness for you? Is it easy to forgive and forget? Or how do you forgive? And really, when do you know that it is time to move on? Forgiveness is such a big issue. Hi, Melda. You're welcome. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. I hope you're pumped up for a very productive week, like I am. But today we are going to talk about forgiveness. What is forgiveness for you? Is it easy to forgive and forget? And how do you forgive? What tools do you need to really forgive, free yourself, and moving on? Because forgiveness is one thing, and what next? You have to move on. And how do you move on? So we are going to talk about all of this today. I would like to have your ideas about this topic, what you think about it, what advice you can give. If you have had to forgive somebody in the past, what you did and how did it go for you. So it's going to be a very good discussion today because forgiveness is such a big issue and we all need it. Hi, Oban. You all welcome, and I thank you for joining in. Today we are talking about forgiveness. What does forgiveness? What is forgiveness for you? Is it easy to forgive and forget? What tools do you need to really forgive and move on? And especially, when do you know that it is time to move on? Hi, my daughter. So I would like to hear your I would really like to hear your ideas about this topic. Yeah, working on forgiveness, some things easy to forgive, but I know I need to do it to free myself, but some things are hard. I hear you and I feel you, girl. It is a big topic because certain things are really big and hard to forgive because you really trust. Most of the time, you trust people and then they betray your trust. And it's so difficult for you now to find a way to trust them again or to move on. But like you say, you need forgiveness to be free, to free yourself, to free yourself to get back your power. And so for me, the first tool that I use is it was difficult for me. I have been betrayed many times. It was difficult for me to really bring myself to talk to the person again. And but you have to have an open mindset and you have to think about you because the forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. And you need it because if not, you will carry a heavy baggage, which is really stopping you from doing the things that serve you. So forgiveness is for you and not for the other person. It is difficult, but it is necessary. Hi, Corey and Lekita. Corey and Lekita are saying hi, everybody. I hope it's a good day for you all with lots of life and trust in your lives. Yes, we really have to make every day a good day because it depends on us. Sometimes it doesn't, it's really difficult sometimes, but we have to make a conscious effort. Because when you make an effort of seeing the silver lining in the dark cloud, it's a little easy for you. Not really easy, but it's just a little easy. Yes, Kim, forgiveness is a choice because you think about you first. Sometimes it is really difficult, it is really heavy, but it is heavier when you hold on to it. And the longer you hold on to it, the more difficult it becomes. And so sometimes they say, just forgive. Yes, it's easy for us to forgive the other person. But how is it about us? Do we easily forgive ourselves? For me, it was not, I had to work on my mindset to really know that carrying any grudges was killing my health, killing my progress, and killing my general well being. And so I had to learn how to forgive. It's not really easy, but it is necessary. And it's something that we have to work on all the time. Really, sometimes you really don't really want to see the person again. And you feel so hurt each time you think about them. But you know something? Sometimes the people who hurt us, they are not even conscious of what they did, or they don't even remember that they hurt us, but we carry it in our hearts, and we are the ones that suffer. And I totally agree with you. Forgiveness is not always in the plan, but we have to always look at the sunny side of life. It's really not easy. I can tell you, I went through it. I had to make a conscious effort because we need certain tools. Your mindset has to be really open and you will be willing to be compassionate with yourself. You have to really love you and be willing to make you your own friend first. Because what happens most of the time is we are not our own friends. We give the friendship to everyone else. We don't give the love to us. And so when there is a question of forgiveness, we can easily forgive the other person. Sometimes, but it's so difficult to forgive ourselves. I really would really like for us to think about it. It's a process, it takes time, but it is necessary because you liberate yourself, you gain back your power, and you see more clarity on how to move on, which means you remove all those things, those negative things that are weighing you down and that are stopping you from getting into your greatness. I've been for, I've been really betrayed most of the time. I really decided to cut off all the people that I knew, and it was not the best. Anyways, it was not the best. But I really thought that, okay, let me stay away from all of them. For Kim, forgiving doesn't mean that you forget what the person did. You just don't hold them accountable for the hurt any longer. That way, you free yourself from the wrong. I totally agree with you, Kim. It's not easy to just forget, but you just, okay, let me let me remove the hurt, and then I would find a way of dealing with this person, or not dealing with this person, but I know that I have a level of I can go to deal with this person. Hi, brothers, Lady Posh, everybody that is coming in, I thank you for joining the live. Crafty Leo, I really, really am grateful for all of you. Today we are talking about forgiveness. What is forgiveness for you? Is it easy to forgive and forget? How do you forgive? What are the tools that you need to forgive? And like Kim said it, you just don't want to hold them accountable for the hurt any longer, because the more you hold on to it, the more you are hurting yourself. Really, really, really. You holding on to it, you're hurting yourself. The other person has moved on, you are still there, and you are still bleeding, you are still hurting. And I can assure you, when you are hurting, it's really not easy to see clearly the good things in life, because you are just so, sometimes you are so stressed and you don't even know what to do. And you, especially when you don't know who to trust. Yes, you have to be able to accept what has been done to you before you can free yourself. Taking responsibility and really accepting that, yes, somebody, because sometimes we see all those things that hurt us, but we close our eyes to it. We say, okay, no, I can manage, it's going to be okay. And I totally agree. You have to accept and own it. Then you can be able to look for a solution and then ask yourself, what is the lesson? And then you use the lesson to grow. Because all always look for the lesson in every challenge. That is what is going to help you to move on. It's not really always easy. It's not, like Crafty Leo says, it's not always easy to forgive or forget, but you have to do it for your own mental and emotional health. I totally agree with Crafty Leo and Tim. It is for you. It is not for the other person. It is for you. And really, when you don't forgive, it's so difficult to move on, because you carry this heavy baggage with you. It's really heavy. And once it's heavy, you become stressed, you can become sick, and there are other negative things that will be adding up. And at the end of the day, you are the one who is you are the one who is hurting, and you are the one who is wasting your time. You are the one who is not knowing what to do with your life. And it's really something that you have to always think about. Always make an auto evaluation of your life. It's not when they say you have to make new year goal resolutions or new goals. It's not something really impossible, but it's something necessary, because when you have your goals, you can easily find a way of letting go of the things that are not helping you to achieve your goals. So you make your goals, you have clarity on what you want in your life, and then you find ways to make it happen. Like they say, to be realistic, only you can save you. The people around you can tell you, oh, we are sorry, this happened or that happened, but you are the one who has to take the action. You have to pick yourself up. Remember those people who do the marathon? They are the ones who are doing the running. The people by the side cheering them can give them water, can cheer them, but they have to do the marathon, they have to do the running. So you have to do the work, but you have to be intentional. You have to decide that I'm going to be happy. No matter how many challenges you've had, I've had a whole lot of challenges. Because when you are more than a century old, you have seen a lot of things. And they used to really hold me down. So if you are going through any things that are holding you down now, do not worry. You are not alone. There are many people out there. Until I realized that all these things are holding me down and I am the one who is losing because I can't move forward. I keep living in the past. So I had to really find a way to liberate myself. It was not easy. Like I said, you have to have an open mindset. You have to be willing to pick yourself up and learn, pick the lesson. Never forget to pick the lesson because that will save you. It might not save you, but it will help you in the future. Be willing to unlearn the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Because sometimes we say, oh, never, I'll never forgive this person because. And then we say, I'm keeping you in my heart. Your heart is just as small as can be for you. Your heart does not have space to keep grudges. People, just think about your clean heart or where people go and dump trash. Consider those things like trash and don't let them occupy space in your life. Like they say, any toxic people in your head, raise your hands and kick them out. I always say, do an energy audit. Hi, Wellness with Frugal Mama. We have, hey, Tourist Brain Games. Today we are talking about forgiveness. What is forgiveness for you? Is it easy to forgive and forget? How do we forgive? And we're sharing some tools that you could use, which includes an open mindset to be willing to pick up yourself, learn from the challenge, and see how to make better choices or to grow. And then you have to be willing to learn a positive mindset. It's all of those things you learn them. Some people are so bitter and so negative, but you can learn to be a positive person. Really, there's nothing you cannot learn if you put your mind to it. Learn to be a positive person. Learn to look at the silver lining. Like people will say, oh, there's no dark cloud, or some clouds are so dark. There is always something little that you can learn and grow from everything that happens to you. And then you have to practice self-compassion. That is some very challenging thing. For me, it was so difficult. I had to really learn how to love myself, how to be how to be compassionate, how to really be kind to me, and how to really like, okay, if I'm going to forgive anybody, I have to forgive myself first. Because when you forgive the person and you don't forgive yourself, you are still hurting. And so when you to start getting out of it, you have to forgive yourself first. Corey and Lorita say it will be good to hear a few examples because there are so many different types of experiences, like work birthday experience may be different from family birthday experience. I don't know anybody who wants to come up and share. You are welcome to come up and share. But my part of forgiveness, I had to forgive. Being a two-time divorcee, I had to forgive my ex-husbands I had to forgive them because basically the first time I got married, I was challenged because I couldn't have children. But my first ex-husband was willing to stay with me because we grew up together, high school love and stuff, and we went all the way. But he was from the royal family, and there was the question of inheritance. He needed a boy, not only a child, but a boy child, a male, a male child. And so I just decided to say no, I'm not going to stay here because I'm not really prepared for polygamy, and I'm not really prepared to go all the way. So I left. But the second time it was infidelity, and I also left. Well, sometimes they tell me I live so easily, I should stay back and fight. And I tell people, if something is for me, I don't need to fight for it. I can I can fight for the things that I want to do, but I can't fight to keep somebody. You can't, like they say, you can't keep somebody whose heart is already somewhere else. So I left. And I found it so difficult to forgive myself, especially the second time, because I saw all the red flags, but I ignored them. And so I will tell you today, every time in relationships, when you see red flags, take them seriously. 2 or 3% of the time, there might be changes for the better, but the majority of times, it's really not going to change. So when you see red flags, take them seriously. In the workplace, a, a I've had challenges in the workplace where I really went all the way. I forgave the person, but I had to defend myself. Yes, Oban, exactly. You can't make someone love you or want to be with you. Exactly. In relationships, it's good to always, not that you are really like being a detective. No, you are always evaluating and looking at how is this relationship going, and what can we do to make it grow, or how am I doing in it. And so sometimes have to you really have to do this constant evaluation of your life, your relationships, your work, everything in your life. Is always good to always sit once in a while and look back at how far you're going, if you're meeting your goals, and really what next you need to do. Because every day we have new things that we can learn to improve and stuff. So it is not going to be very easy. Life is not easy, by the way, but life is so interesting, and it can be so really nice, but you have to make it what you want. I know that sometimes it's really challenging. You want to have a happier or a better life, and you don't know what to do. But in most cases, you are the one who has to build the life that you want. Ask for help. Look for a coach. Look for a mentor. Look for people, a community around where there are people who are growing. Join them and learn. We all are learning. We are a work in progress. Everybody is learning every day. And so life is not just one smooth sail, it's a whole set of learning, doing, redoing, undoing. And if we are coming back to what Corey and Laquita said, at work one time, I had a boss who wanted me to be fired despite the work that I was doing for her, because she did something. I was working for an NGO, and then she took the information and sold it to another NGO. And since I was the networking and communications officer, I saw the file that she had. And so we had a lot of issues, and and she said they should fire me. I said, okay, now it's either her or me. So I had to write to the boss because I didn't tell anyone. I had to write to the boss, and I told them the whole story and gave them the file that she wanted to share with the other company, and she got fired. I really like, sometimes I I too hard to make her get fired, but it was her against me and it was her word against mine. But I had the documents because she was my boss, and so I had to protect myself. So that's what we are saying. Sometimes or every time, think about you first. It's about your own protection. The other person, they can take care of themselves. You can help them, but you can't do it for them. But you can do it for you. So you take care of yourself, and the other people, they will take care of themselves. So I really am. I'm like, okay, now it's me or her, and I'm not going to go in for something that I didn't do. And so I had to put her on the in the fire, and she got fired. And then my colleagues came and said, "Oh, you were too harsh. You have to ask her for forgiveness and stuff." I said, "No, I'm not asking her for any forgiveness." And she knows that I did the work. I've been doing a lot of work for her. She never asked for forgiveness, but I did not ask for forgiveness too from her because she left and we never talked to each other. But in my prayers, I always say, I forgive you. I forgive you, and I hope you also forgive me. And you will also forgive me. Everyone is talking to everyone. The conversation is going smoothly. Yes, ma'am, take care of you first. That's hard thing to do, but it's the hard thing to learn. I'm learning. We are all learning. Yes, Crafty Leo. We are all learning. Life is a whole learning process because every day we learn new things. We learn one thing or the other, and we learn from everybody. You cannot imagine much you can learn from children. They don't bear any grudges, and then they are always there. So let me bring. I have my daughter there who wants to come and share.
Hello, mommy.
Yes,
Good afternoon, ma. I've been
yes.
done good day morning for that side. Good morning, ma.
Good morning. It's still morning. It's
Gr-
9:28.
Aha, it's morning.
Yeah, it's
Greeting
already
to the
afternoon there.
chat. Oh.
Yeah.
I greet all the people in the chat. Please, so Naija daughter, if you don't understand my English, my mommy will translate it for you. Okay? Me, I speak Naija English. Me, I don't speak American English.
That's that's one of my daughters. She's in France and she's speaking
I'm sorry.
we call it Creole. It's a variety of, they call it broken English, but it's Creole. So go ahead.
Yes, mommy.
Yeah.
Please, so you guys should take it. If you don't understand, say you don't understand, okay? My mommy will explain it better for you guys. Don't worry, okay? Be happy. Naija daughter is here. But I'm little bit sick. Catarrh cough is worrying me. That is why I just blank my camera.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for loving me. I love you too. We love Naija English. Oh, speak, ma. Talk true. You love Naija English and you understand. We love you too. Thank you for that broken. I mean, I'm on Naija. Oh, hey, I speak in Nigeria English. Me, I not divert my mom English. My mom title. No, me talking. Mom, you see her. Oh, yeah,
You
go.
see,
Go and wash your
everybody
coffee.
understands. So tell us, what do you think about forgiveness and everything
Yes.
in the project? What do you think about forgiveness? Do
Hey,
you
mommy.
have
Mommy, you just
forget?
say your daughter no just understand your English. Ha! Chai! Speak out with English for me.
Oh
Yeah, go.
my. Okay, Niger daughter, tell us, what do you think
Okay,
about
I'll come.
forgiveness? What is forgiveness to you? Is it
Okay.
easy to forgive and forget?
No, mommy. No. For me, I talk this topic when I dey grow Esther Family TV. I talk this same topic. People will said, forgive. You know, you forgive, but what of about your spirit? Your spirit forget. You know, this forgive of a thing, forget of a thing is spirit. You know, some people will offend you. The thing will touch you so deeply, you know, so pain. Go and keep jeans. Papi, I'm coming. You know, but you looking into them, you want to forgive them. But every time your mind will always strike that thing. I don't know whether you understand me, mommy. You know, some people, I remember when this man said, forgiveness doesn't come easily. You can forgive, but you can never forget. You can just, easy to say, I forgive you. But to forget is not easy. You understand, mommy? To forget is not easy. We deal with spirits. We can use our mouth to say, I forgive you, they go. But your spirit, you call, your mind, you call, that is where prayer comes. Without prayer, I don't think we can forget easily. We can just use mouth to say, I forgive you, they go. The person can go, turn back. But inside your mind, that your spirit, that person hurt so deep is still there. Anytime your mind, it's not you. We can just pronounce it, I forgive. But that your spirit, that person hurts. Where is the spirit? Our spirit will be battling with it. This person hurts me too much. But I already forgive. I already think to move on. But your spirit will still be battling with that. That is where prayer comes. Then we now be deliberate on, God, I have forgive this person. Let it be. Let it go. I don't know if mommy understand me.
Absolutely. I'm sharing it in the what everybody is sharing in the chat. Everybody is giving their own idea about it and sharing. I totally agree with you. Forgetting
Thank
is
you.
very difficult because it doesn't really go,
Yeah,
but you find a way to move on. You
yeah,
forgive the person to take back your
yeah,
power and to
yeah,
clear your mind, but in your subconscious is still there. And that is
yeah.
why you are careful. You take the lesson and you are careful the next time.
Yes,
Look at what our sister said. Forgiveness is get the lesson and the blessing. With prayer, the spirit heals. Thank
yes.
you, sister, for helping us to
Thank you
remember
very much.
that release
Thank you
happens
very much.
with our relationship with the Father. Absolutely. Prayer is everything.
Yeah.
Prayer is the master key. And people who don't pray,
Mom,
they meditate.
yeah. Mommy, I remember this person, he hurt me so deep that when I met my husband, I don't know, it's the same name too. I said, wow, what could accident? This person, I have his number on my offer. I don't need to dial his number. If I want, I don't need to store his number. You know, when he hurt me, mommy, I don't know what to say. I said, I will say, I forgive him. Let him go, you know. But every time the thing will keep on striking my mind. Then and I put it in prayer. God, you are the one that give me this brain, and you are the one that lets me to meditate on this number to store. God, let me forget this. That is where I know with prayer, you can forget everything. But I'm still measuring his name now. With prayer, everything can go. Then I start praying. Behold, don't take me 2 weeks. I forget this number. I forget everything about this person because the moment I have his number, I will still like to call. I don't store the number on my phone, but the number was stored on my brain. The number was stored on my brain. Then I bring God in. God, This number, clear it out of my memory, clear it out of my head. I want to forget this number. Mommy, I write the number, then I start praying over it. Behold, the number start clearing, everything wipe.
Amen.
Then I start my life back.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
with prayer, I so much believe with prayer to forget and forgive is very easy. If you can say you can do it alone, it's easy for our mouth to say, I forgive you, they go. You can go. It's lying. Your spirit is not agree with it. You need prayer. You need deliverance. You can deliver yourself. Call your God. Kneel down. This thing, I want to get out with this thing. I want to move on. I have forgiven you. You said we should forgive. God, I have forgiven him. Let your will be done. Let me move on. Behold, everything we, in fact, the way everything will turn around, you will say, what is this? You know, forgiveness with prayer, it works.
I am so proud of you, and I'm really happy that you bring
Thank
up
you.
prayer. Prayer
Yeah,
is really important. Sometimes
yeah,
even not to only to forget, but sometimes if you can't forgive and it's so difficult to forgive, you put
yes,
it in prayer. You really put it to God and say, Lord, this one is really above me. Help me
yeah,
to forgive this person. So
yeah,
prayer is really, really important. But
yes,
most some people don't pray, and so they do
yeah,
meditation or they
yeah,
listen to music. So there are many
yeah,
ways of prayer, whatever prayer is for you, but to and whoever you hold as your supreme power. For us Christians, we pray to God and we honor and adore God without even any shame or thinking twice. And we go to God in prayer most of the time, which is supposed to be all the time. So prayer really helps. I'm really grateful because you brought in the tool of prayer. That is really very useful. Hi, Lasius. You're so welcome. Today we are talking about forgiveness. What is forgiveness for you? Is it easy to forgive and forget? And how do we forgive? Which tools? I was saying you need your mindset. And now, Naja daughter just shared one very powerful tool, prayer. Prayer is a big
mommy,
tool. Yes.
mommy, some
Yes.
people, they think once they are drunk, they will forget. But once the drink now clear from your eyes, you are going back to that the same. Some people think music. What of once you off that music? The meditation will still come back. Nothing past God. Because I do all those things, mommy. I do it. I do it. I'm not the type to go outside. I try to go outside to associate with people, but the moment the people live where I am, or the moment I live where the people is, that thing will continue flash. Hey, call is begging now. Forgive. No. But as I bring God in, everything work easy. The way you pray your prayer, you can be meditating, you can do anything, but just bring God in. Muslim will serve God, Christian will serve God, whatsoever anything you believe through God, bring God in, because forgive is very easy to say. Forget, totally not you will forget, deeply forgive that person. You know, forgive is many different way, mommy. Some people can say, maybe if I offend you, and I say, mommy, I'm sorry. You say, okay, I hear. But you can pronounce it with your mouth. What of your spirit that I hurt? That is what we need to know. What of your spirit that I hurt? Did your spirit forgive me? You can pronounce it with your mouth. Without you don't bring God in. Call God. This person, I have forgiven. I want to let him go. God, let your will be done. You say we should forgive. Because our mouth can talk. Our mouth can pronounce anything. But what of your spirit? We have spirit. Each human being, God give us spirit. We have spirit that move with us. Sometimes now you want to eat this thing. The thing is not hungry you. We have different spirits. We need to bring that our spirit together. God, I have forgive this person, because God speak to us through heart. God speak to us. God move with us with spirit. We have spirit. Our spirit move with God, move with different things. You might be sleeping in France. Now we'll be seeing myself in Africa. That is spirit moving. That is what people, how I really know those things is this man I really follow, Prophet TB Joshua. He's late now. You know, he always talk about this thing. That is when I start, it's true. To say I forgive is easy. What about your spirit? That person hurt. Have you take it to God? Have you bring the issue to God?
Absolutely. That's a good question to ask ourselves. Because on
Thank
our
you.
own, we cannot do it on our own.
At all.
We cannot do it on our own. Always ask for help. You can
Yeah.
ask for help from your friends, from a coach or anything, but going to God is free. It's
Yeah.
available 24/7. And he doesn't even really want a lot from you. Just ask. Say, Lord, this one is above me. Show me what to do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
Kim.
sis.
Thank you, Kim, so much for sharing.
Thank you. Me, I will forget to share. Sometimes person forget.
No, it's okay. And so I'm so
Sometimes you
proud of
forget. It's true.
I'm so proud of the way you see life, because
Thank
it's
you.
true that you want to figure it out on your own is really difficult. You can go to a certain extent, but deep inside it's still there, and it comes up every other time. And so how do you really find that true peace?
That
It's
is true.
only with God that you can
Yes.
find true peace. And so
Only God.
prayer is so necessary and so important. You don't even need to know how to pray or some long distance. Sometimes
Yeah.
prayer is you really just sit and tell God that, okay, now, Lord, I don't know what to do. You show me, use me, just mold me the way you want, Lord, because now I don't know which next step to take. And He will show you, because sometimes you people think that, oh, prayer is no. When you pray, is you listening to God, and you have to really have peace and listen, because He speaks in different ways. He will show you different things in different ways, which will really help you. So prayer is so important.
Yeah.
Prayer is so important. And like Marlene said, the thing is, we have to leave it with God and leave it. Stop trying to
Yeah.
take out what we have released. Because sometimes we give it to God and we are competing with God for a solution, because we tell God it's above us, we can no longer do it. And then we are still
Yeah.
struggling to find a way of doing it. Meanwhile, we just let God do His work, because, like they say, sometimes we think that it is taking too much time, but God is always on time, and every time is God's time. We don't need help from outside ourselves to
That is
get
true.
through the deeper parts of forgiveness. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we say you can find someone to talk with, a trusted person, you can find a therapist, you can find a coach, you can find a friend, you can find a mentor,
Yeah.
you can find a community. But
Yeah.
what is so accessible to you that you don't need to go out to find, you just need to sit quietly, is God. He is there for you 24/7. He just wants you to
Yeah.
come. He say, ask and I will give you. Knock and the door will open. Seek and you will find. So you have to find your own tool that works for you. But we are saying the real easy tool is go to God. Push, like Peter says, pray until something happens. And I really am so happy the way this conversation is going today, because most of the time we think we can figure it out on our own. No, it is not easy. It is not always possible, because we are at the when we are we are hurting, we don't really see clearly. And so that's why we need help. And help start with prayer. If you are a prayer person, we are saying prayer because it's very accessible, it's cheap, it has no cost, and it's very efficient. It's effective. Sometimes we don't get the answer the way we want, but God gives us what is more important for us at that time, because we might be praying thinking that this is what is important. Meanwhile, the thing we are praying for is not really what we need at that moment. So we pray and let God do his work, but we have to take the action. We have to take the
Yeah.
action. Very true, crafty. We may try, but we can't figure it out alone. So we have prayer and we have people to help us. Sometimes when you pray, God sends you the people that will help you. And so you have to pray and look out for the answers. Be vigilant in your environment, because some people come into your life sent by God to answer your prayers. So have an open mindset, but also a discerning mindset, because also there's a lot out there. Sometimes you can really get into more trouble. So find out, always pray and have a discerning mind, and that God should send you the people that are going to add value to your life. I'm so loving this topic, and I really thank everyone in the chat. All of us are talking, people are talking to each other and contributing. It's so, so, so important. Really, forgiving does not mean you accept what they did to you.
No.
Forgiving means you just have let
Evil
go.
good.
Yep. You
Forgiving mean you let it go and you free yourself too. Because the moment you don't let it go, you are still hurting yourself. The thing is still disturbing you. It will still be disturbing your mind. You need to be free. Holding grudges, it like you hold somebody in a cage. The thing will be disturbing you. That is why once somebody offend you, forgive that person, then we run away 100 yards for that person, because I don't want anything. Maybe you that even hurt me now, you don't even care, you don't even see it. Then me, I need to come because I don't want anything that will disturb my mind. Then I need to give you 100% yards so that you will go your own way. Me, I will go my own way. Everybody will be doing in own. Some people will still hurt you. They don't even know if they hurt you, mommy. It's still like that. Some people, they will hurt you. They don't even know if they hurt you. They don't even know if they want to ask you for forgiveness. You see,
absolutely.
if I jam across those kind of people, me, I will just leave them.
Oh, I don't know what happened to your microphone. But like what she's saying is, sometimes the people don't even are conscious of the fact that they hurt you. But now, supposing the person that hurt you is your partner and you are living together, how do you manage that? Any ideas in the chat? If you have your partner, maybe your husband, or even a family member, it's somebody that you are supposed to live with forever. I don't know if there's any forever in relationships, but in your family, if it's a family person, family, you are forever. So if it's forgiveness to a family person, what do you think about it? How do you forgive a family person, and how is your relationship with them afterwards? I've had a lot of family people that hurt me. I decided not to just talk to them, and then they call me all sorts of names, but they are my family. It's just that I don't mix with them very often, and I don't really like to I don't want them by my side because they drain my energy. And so I just keep them aside. They are my family. I love them, but they should be where they are. I don't want them in my space because they hurt me. But if now when I was married, I left. It was, I don't know if it's an easy solution to just leave, but if it's somebody that you have to stay with forever, how do you deal with it? How do you forgive your partner and keep staying with them? Hi, Jared. You're welcome to our live show. We are talking about forgiveness.
Hello, my dear. Great topic.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy and that you're here. And before we come up to you, Corey and Laquita said, she is spot on. We often hold a grudge and the other person was unaware. This is where communication helps. So talk to the person. That's very true, Corey, Laquita. Now, what if the person that hurt you is somebody in your family and you are forced to live with them? What do you do in such a case?
Mommy,
Yes.
a family member, my oga always said, no matter what, family is family. Mommy. My oga always say family is family. Once we are adults, then somebody, maybe one of your family, always like to do one thing, then you need to give him gap. It's your family, it's your sister, it's your brother, but if he needs your help, give it to him, then give him that distance, that yard. Some family, that will hurt you more than outside self. You will even put hands inside your eye, you will not see tears. Some family member, they are like that. You know.
Thank you.
We
Hi,
will
my
forgive them.
sister. Hi, Lashes. What do you think about if it's a family member that hurt you? What do you think about it? We are having a lot of contributions from the chat. If they are in my family, I live and speak in a manner that when they die, I will not have regrets. Crafty Leo says, the same thing applies. Give yourself some space until you are able to forgive and move on, or forgive and continue on your on your journey together. It's so complicated when it's a family member because you are there with the person all the time, and sometimes you really find yourself in a complicated situation because it's your family. What if it's your husband or your wife and you are in the same house? How do you manage it? Well, I
Mommy, me, I don't offend anybody, but if my husband offend me, I want him to apologize. I love apology. I love apology. As far nothing happened for my leg, my boy. As far it's not too bad, maybe it's just a normal thing. Once he apologize, I will forgive him because we become one. But if it's something beyond, I don't really know. On me, I don't really know. Papi, go and watch your laptop now.
okay, my sister Lashes, what do you think about if it's really somebody that, if it's your husband or your
Mm-hmm.
partner and you are in the same house, how do you forgive
Mm-hmm.
them and live with them?
Um, it's it's hard, but then we have to forgive because I just been through that. We have to forgive people. It's not easy, but you have to forgive and hope they don't do it again. Because that's the thing when they keep repeating the same stuff. That's when we're okay. I forgive you, but I have to move on. But yeah, I think forgiveness is very it's very important because you have to forgive others too. able to free yourself, or so you can move on. Because if you live with that inside of you, because I remember back then, I have a similar story. I was, somebody hurt me. I have a lot of people that hurt me in my life, but this person hurt me, and it's like, I was like so angry for years, and I have to pray about it, and I learned to forgive that person, because you're never truly free unless you forgive that person. you know yeah, so we just have to forgive and pray about it. It's not easy sometimes. You're not going to forget, but we just have to practice forgiveness, as you said.
Yes, we are coming back to prayer. Prayer is really the master key. But I love what Corey is saying. When it is family that I live with, then I keep the conversation going to figure out solutions to be able to live with each other and progress. Family that I don't live with, then I just avoid. Absolutely. And Corey said it before, or like Liquita said it before. Communication. Communication is capital. You have to talk. You have to communicate. You really need to tell the person that, look, this thing that you did, you hurt me, because sometimes they are not conscious of the hurt. And so communication is so important. And like blind guy and his wife say, it is continuous. It's not a one day thing. Communication is something that we have to work on all the time to make our relationships better. Everywhere, even in the office, at home, in school, everywhere we are, communication is key. Because most of the time we always think that people should understand, but they might really not be in the frame of mind to understand that they are hurting you, or that what they're doing is really bringing you down. And so communication is really, really important. Rashonda says sometimes you have to leave people where they are. Everyone is not
It's
meant to
true.
be part of your journey. I love that. That is
That
so.
is true. Please, guys, give a host a thumbs up. Oh, please give her a thumbs up, okay? If you like, you can share her. Please give
Thank
her a
you
thumbs
so
up,
much.
okay?
That is so, 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 so important, because sometimes you think that you have to carry everybody along. No,
True.
there comes a time when the journey has to be you. Some people will say you are selfish, but it doesn't really matter, because no matter what you do, people will always say you are selfish, you are this or that. People always talk about you. Like in Africa, they say even if you take a bath under the rain, your enemies would still accuse you of raising dust, which means anything you do, people will have something to say
Mommy,
about it.
mommy,
Yes.
mommy, Sandra, she said she want to come up. She said she want to come. He said, but I wanted to come in, Sis Mary, show you some love and support on life, but I gonna, okay, run you. Okay, I thought she want to come up.
Okay. Yes. Sometimes they don't know that they hurt us. It's true, Grace. And that's why communication
Thank
is
you,
so
Sis Grace, for
important.
that share. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the share, okay?
And so true. Some people are only in your life for a season. Everything has a season.
Yep.
Yep. You just
But
have to.
sometimes it's really difficult for us to really see that. We still think that no, we have to go together. Hi, we got a big fan club out there.
Yes, so look at the beautiful children in the house.
You are my
Thank
kids.
you
Hi,
so much.
Kids no, Perry, don't give him the my kids.
come and listen to Nigeria English. Come and listen to broken English. How
And they
are
say
you doing?
I know they
respect.
the broken English, Jamaican.
Yeah, we are the same. We are the same.
Yes.
Because we call it Creole. It's a variety of Creole, and Creole is in the island. So my sister, I said respectfully communicate your feelings, letting them know that you are sharing just clarity. So when they say communication, it really is not like you just, because your manner of talking can either solve a problem or aggravate it. So communication is a whole art that we have to learn. And I'm happy my sister said respectful communication, because either you say it respectfully and bring peace, or sometimes people just say it in a way that it will spark more fire. So communication is something that we learn, and we use it in a positive way to bring peace and to bring a solution, which means you are communicate your, what is your communication for?
Says Grace.
Thank you, Grace. You are doing a great job, and I thank everyone in the chat who is so actively participating. And this topic is so important because those are little things, we all face them, and sometimes we are so challenged because we don't know how to move on, and we don't know how to do it. And so that's why communication is so important. Sharing our experiences is really important. And wow, I'm not a I'm I'm not K Francette, I am not I'm a like a 2 on 10 Bible student. So Francette said Proverbs 15 verse 1. Can you share us what that means, Francette? What is in Proverbs verse 1? I'm a 2 on 10 Bible student. Rashonda says sometimes people don't communicate on the same level. That's where the problem comes in. And really, that's really true. And that's where mindset is so important, because we are not saying people should be perfect. We are saying they should just be willing to learn and grow. They should just be willing to say, I am sorry. They should just be willing to accept, take responsibility, accept the wrong things that they have done, and to ask for forgiveness. To say, I am sorry is a those are some of the very difficult words to say. Thank you. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sometimes they are so difficult to say them, but they are so useful. You see the Bible students in the house. Thank you, blind guy, his wife. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that verse up. I am a I am a two I'm a 2 on 10 Bible student, but I would go back to reading my Bible daily. I used to read my Bible daily, but I got lost and I really had to bring back myself. And I'm so happy that today I have a lot of people sharing their Bible knowledge and sharing the importance of prayer, because we often really underlook the importance of prayer without knowing that it is the cheapest solution. It is always available. You don't need to book an audience to talk with your Heavenly Father. He is always there, ready just to listen, because He has all those gifts for us, but He says we should ask and we will receive. We should knock at the door and He will open, and seek and he will and we will find. And so today's topic is a reminder that when we have issues about forgiveness, we first think about our own peace. We are forgiving for us first and not for the other person. But we are saying we are forgiving the person because we want to have freedom. We want to take back our power, and we want to have a more clarity in the way forward. And so I'm so proud of you all. forgiveness is not an easy journey, but it is a necessary habit, because every day you're going to have people who will forgive you, who would hurt you. Some are meant to just pass through your life and go, some will stay, but you have to find ways to forgive them, to live with them in a way that everybody is growing, to live a positive life. And so the next stage we are going to now, when do you know, how do you know it is time to move on? No matter who hurt you
Mommy,
or no
come
matter
again.
who forgiving, when do
Okay.
you know that, okay, this is now time to move on, to forgive and concentrate on other things? How do you know it? Some people say that they
Mommy,
just,
okay.
yeah.
Mommy, I'm here.
Yeah, some people say that they just feel it, they just feel it within them that now it's time for me to let go. Either this relationship, either these habits, that, because it's not only relationships. Sometimes, like me, I have a problem to lose weight, and they will always tell me that what goes in your mouth is what is killing you. So I have to make a conscious effort to find the things that will help me to live a healthy life. So I have to let go of some really nice food that I like eating. So I have to let go of fried plantains. That's really not good for me, especially for my age and stuff. But for some time now, I really stopped eating fried plantains. I was stopped
But
because,
plantain is good now, Mommy.
yeah, but the ripe
Plantain
one,
is good for the body because it's iron.
yeah, but the ripe and fried is ripe, and then you
Mm.
fry it in the oil. It's not good. It's
Uh,
not good. So it's well, when you, it's good when you're growing and you are very active. But I'm getting older and I'm not really as
yeah.
active as I used to be. So I have to let go of some of those nice foods, like you call them peanuts. I used to eat them so much. So
Mm.
sometimes it's not very easy, but we have to ask ourselves, when is it time to move on? Like our sister says, sometimes we have to let go some things. Absolutely. It takes a lot of energy and practice, because it's something that it's a habit that you are used to doing all the time, and then you cannot just cut it immediately when you feel
That's
that
true.
it's no longer serving you, or when you feel that it is hurting you more than it is doing good to you. You want to let go. It's not easy. You take it step by step. Instead of eating like my fried plantains, I used to like it maybe 3 times a week. I will start by eating it once a week, progressively, and eating it once a month. And find there are lots of food out there that you can use to eat, that you can eat in place of plantains. Rashonda says, I think you can only move on once you find peace about the situation. You can't change what happened, but you can choose to be happy. Absolutely,
Yeah,
girl.
that
I
is true.
totally agree with you. Which brings us again to the main idea that life is choices. Every time we have to choose. Everything that is happening to us, we have to choose to be happy. You have to choose to grow. You have to choose. It's a choice that you have to make.
Mm.
It's not going to happen by accident, because there are so many alternatives. So you have to choose the one that serves you best. So what serves you best? You choose, and then you look at how you can use it to serve you best. So whether it's a personal relationship, career related, it's always like, sometimes you feel, I'm done here. My work is done here. I need to move to something else. But what happens, because most of the time, I find myself going forth, back and forth. I'm not ready. And that's the reminder that Rashonda is giving. You move on once you find peace about the situation. It might not be complete peace, but you are saying that if I start today, the peace will increase daily. Everything that we will need there, we have to work for it. It's not going to come automatically, so we have to work for it. I really am grateful for all of you who came to this live stream, and even all of you who are going to watch the replay. We have discussed some very, very useful and pertinent issues here, and we have people still coming in. Hi, Lucy, you are welcome. Today we are talking about forgiveness, what it means to you, what are the tools you need, and we had some very, very, very useful contributions, and especially prayer will help you to forgive and have peace. And it is very cheap because you don't need to buy it. You don't need to you don't need any you don't need to take an audience to book an appointment with God. No, it's every time. He's always ready. And so you just go to him and you will have it. So now we were talking about, thank you so much, Peter. I really appreciate everything you do. And everyone in the chat, I really thank you, because alone, like we say, you cannot do it alone. You always do it with people. And so now we were like, how do you know when it is time to move on? Some people will tell you that they just feel it and they listen to their intuition and they just say, okay, really, this I like when you are in relationships, maybe in some friendship. I had a lot of my childhood friends. Well, I call them friends. They are no longer my friends because a lot of them, they betrayed me. And because I am as transparent as what you see is what you get. I'm not double-faced, and I'm not like you see me like this and then behind I'm something else. As you see me, this is how I am. So I took it for granted that everybody was like what they appear, until I got really burnt. I really got hurt. I got hurt to the extent that the person that I thought was my best friend was the one that was entertaining my ex-husband and his girlfriend. Hi, boss. I am so happy to have you here. So I was working in Senegal.
Mommy,
Yeah.
Mommy, 1 minute, Mommy.
Yes.
Blind guy, thank you very much. No appointment needed. Free 99% when it came to God. Yes. Thank you for this contribution. Please, you can remove the comment because Mommy is not monetized yet. Number is not good for a channel that is not monetized. Please, thank you very much. For doing but I not getting this thing. Okay, please do it for hooks. It a decrease watch hour. Please, okay. Thank you for your
Oh,
understanding. Okay.
okay. I didn't know that.
Yes, number is not good as far you are not monetized.
Oh, okay. Hi, coach. That's my mentor, and that's the person who will tell you a lot about life, about forgiveness, about moving on, and about when do you know it is time. Boss, today we're talking about forgiveness, the tools that we need to forgive and have peace. We said there was open mindset. You have to be willing to pick yourself up, pick the lessons and grow. You have to be willing to learn positive habits, and you have to be willing to practice self-compassion. But most of all, one of the big free tools we discussed about prayer, because prayer will help you find peace. Okay, now I have to learn how to look for a moderator, how to do a a moderator.
Your granddaughter, she's back. Let me attend to her. She's just back from school now. I will be in
thank
the background, mommy.
thank you so much. I'm really, really
Thank you,
proud.
mommy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, mommy.
So Rashonda says everyone is not going to have the same heart as you, Coach Merima. I had to learn that for myself. You are a beautiful soul. I everybody is essentially good, but we have to really, what I learned is that you have to be very vigilant. Don't take a lot of things for granted. It's not because they are your friends or the people you know that they will not hurt you. I can tell you, I got really, like, I was the last person to even know that that is what was happening, because I was living in Africa. They live in America. They live in America, and then and like God will have it, she was. They took pictures, and I saw the pictures. I shouldn't have known if I didn't see the pictures. That's how I knew that they that she's the one who was arranging everything. And then she will come back and talk to me. Boss, I clicked the three dots and he's telling me put user in timeout. So I had to. That's why when I found that out, I felt so betrayed that I took one of the most, I don't know if it was a childish decision or it was a rushed decision, but I decided now instead of going to America to fight them there, I decided to leave all of them there and go to Spain. Thank you, boss. I decided to leave them and go to Spain. But that was not really one of the best decisions that I made, but I had to find some peace. And the only way I could find peace was to go away from the people. But every time, running away does not really help. It's not the only solution. You have to stay there and face it. You really have to stay there and face it. But I really like, okay, I choose my quiet and peace. I'm not going to go with these negative people, because I have more than half of my family lives in the US in different states, and more than half of the people that I grew up with, they also live in the US. And and you would really think that I'm such a crazy person, but I'm telling you, I was so hurt that I decided that I'm not going to stay with these people. I'm not going to stay where they are, where I will cross them. I will come across them. And so I decided to go to Spain where nobody knows me. I went to Spain. I spent 7 years. I spent 7 years. Thank you, blind guy and his wife. I spent 7 years in Spain, but I also learned a lot of things, because generally I was like all embracing. I didn't even know how that people could hurt you so much, and I didn't know so many things. So I left Senegal and I went to Spain. That was a very crazy idea. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know Spanish. I didn't know anything. But my idea was to go to Spain and spend a few weeks, and then I go back to the US, because I still had the US visa. But when I got to Spain, I said, why am I even going to the US? Let me just stay here. I started learning Spanish, but those are the 7 years that helped me to really grow up. I went to Spain when I was I went to Spain 10 years ago. So I went to Spain when I was 47. You can imagine that for good 47 years, I didn't really know the reality about human life. I would just take everybody like a friend. I was so open and I was so nice and with my smile, and then I would think that everybody is with me the way I am with them. But no, I got so burnt with the people that I trusted, or by the people that I trusted so much. And I really like, really? And so I went to Spain. I don't want to say they were wasted years, because that is where I grew up. That is where I learned about real human beings, and that life is not always the way it seems. You have to be vigilant. You have to really always open your eyes to see, because many people are in your life not for your own good. They are there to, like, you think that everybody is happy for your progress. No, because I was working where I was really traveling around the globe, meeting so many people, doing so many amazing things. And the people I thought were my friends, they didn't like it. But they'll come and laugh with you. But behind your back, they say, oh, what does she think she is? She thinks that because she's traveling and stuff. I really was just taking them like my friends. And imagine that you travel and you bring back little gifts for people. For God's sake, you are traveling and you have a luggage of, let's say, 25 kilograms. You have a whole lot of people, and you bring a gift for somebody and say, look at what, is that all she could bring? Meanwhile, you were giving it with your heart. And so I really learned a lot of things, because I was by myself. I didn't know anybody. And then I faced life. And so I really grew up. I grew up. I learned that you have to be your own best friend. You have to be the first on your line. You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to be your own hero. Because anything extra should be a bonus. But you start with you giving you what you want others to give you. And that's how I learned all of those things, because I was in a position where I got so hurt and so, like, burnt, that I decided to open up and look at life squarely and really ask a lot of questions. So those 7 years, they really helped me to know how life is, to know how humans. I'm still learning, because every day you learn new things. You learn new things every day. You have to really always have an open mind. You have to always open your brain to learn, because there are so many things that happen. Even today, with 57 years, I still go, wow. So these things can still happen. So you have to be, I didn't really know how to be vigilant. I would just take everybody for granted at face value. And I thought that life was like ABC. And no, I got burnt. I really got burnt. And then I have another friend who also, I had a friend who also makes it a point to be the best friend to all my ex-husband's new wives. How do you stay in friendship with that kind of person? You can't you can't stay in friendship with that kind of person. But I'm telling you, it took me so much time to realize that that is the kind of person that I was dealing with. And so I just decided to cut off from everybody. I unfriend all of them in all my social media handles. All of them on Facebook, I unfriended them. And I told myself, anyone who is my real friend will come back and look for me. And in all that bunch, one, I just had one that came back. And happy with I'm happy with that. It's better to have one real friend. I really still hold her at a distance. And she always tells me, Mary, you have to stick with the people that you knew from the time you were growing up. No, you don't have to stick with them. If they are the ones that are bringing you down, if they are those that are hurting you, you stick with the people who help you to grow. You stick with the people who help you to become what you want to become. Because we are all becoming. Find a community of people who will build you. Stick with people who are building you and helping you to grow. There's nothing like sticking with the people that you knew from childhood. No, if those people are hurting you and they are not bringing value, don't stick with them. You have a choice. It is your life. Pick you first and then find a way to be with people that will help you to grow. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who is hurting. You are the one who has the problem. People don't really like people. Everybody have what they are dealing with. So you are responsible of you. And so the theory about no, stick with your friends with whom you grew up, it doesn't work. Stick with the people who are helping you to grow. Yes, Marlene, every one of us, we need to heal ourselves. Nobody is coming to heal us. And it's going to be holistic, because you cannot heal your leg and then your hand is hurting and you think you're well. No, wellness is really everything: body, mind, soul, spirit. So it's a whole package. You have to heal every part. You have to work. You have to work on every part of your life to be whole and to be well. So wellness is a whole. It's not just one part of your life. Like they say, if one part is hurting, all the other parts are hurting, and all the parts need each other. So it's a work in progress. It's not very easy, but you have to be vigilant. You have to be intentional. Yes, you have to believe in you. And you have to believe that you are worthy of good things. You have to believe that you are worthy of growing, of plenty, of abundance. Because sometimes we think that it's only other people's lives. No, everybody can have the opportunity to grow, to progress, to become successful. Yes, boss. That is why I say we made Marlene. Everyone is not willing to heal themselves. It takes a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but it is worth the trouble. And it is very necessary, because sometimes it's life is not automatic. Most of the automatic things, they don't last a lot. I don't know, maybe that's my own perception. Many automatic things just have a limited lifespan. But things that are manual, that you work on them, you can make lasting and sustainable impact with the things that you work on. So it's not only like you think you do it once in a while, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. And when you take it like a lifestyle, you don't see it as work again. It becomes a habit and you just do it. It comes naturally. But you have to be willing. You have to open your eyes. And you have to know that, okay, this is time. I need to go to the next level. You have to always look at your life and find out when you have given your all and all in a certain situation, and then you move on. There's always, or there are always new opportunities out there. You just have to look around. You will find them. Find a coach, find a mentor, find communities that build you up. You cannot do it alone, but you cannot do it by yourself. Like they say, when you want to go alone, you go far. But if you want to go further, you have to find a community. You go together, you go with people. And there are always people out there who are willing to help. But you have to ask for help. Like we say, you have to ask. Because sometimes people don't even know that you need help if you don't ask. So you have to ask. Ask for help. But find the person that will help you, because sometimes people don't ask for help because they try to ask for help, and the people that they went to instead hurt them more. One of my coaches will tell you, Mary, how do you know that this is a good coach? Once you talk with the person, just the first time, listen to your intuition, and secondly, look at what they have achieved, because the impact they have made will tell you that you are going to learn from that person. So it's not easy to find the right person, but it's easy to know that this is not the right place. Leave. You don't go and get more burn when you are looking for peace and for a solution. When you go somewhere and you don't find that this is a convenient place, leave. It is okay. It's your life. You have the right to live it the way you want. So whenever you see that this place is not conducive, know it's time to leave. And it is okay. Don't even worry about what people will say, because people will always talk. When you are there, they will talk. When you are not there, they will talk. What brings you peace? What is going to help you get to your goals? How am I going with my goals? Focus on what's important for you, not what people will say, or not to please people. Yes, we are a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement, and it is never too late. It's better to start now and have a brand new ending than to just stay there and say, okay, and give up. You cannot give up on yourself. And that's why you have to be your own best friend. What's your best friend? Your best friend is someone you go to when you need that push. So when you are your own best friend, you push yourself. Like we say, the push that comes from outside is a bonus, but you push yourself. You are your own best friend. You push yourself. You are your own hero. You know that you can achieve. You know that great things run through your brain, your veins, and you are capable of doing great things. So it's always your work, because like they say, if you live a life of, when you think about beautiful things, count you first. If you count yourself first, like the first beautiful thing you know, what are you going to do with it? You're going to cherish it, you're going to fix it. Each time you're going to give it the best. What do we do with the beautiful things that we have? We clean them, we polish them, we find a good place to keep them. So when you choose you as the first beautiful thing, and you are the first on your own line, it's you have the habit now to treat you with all the kindness, with all the love, and you know that you come first. It's not selfish, it's self-care. And you have to care for yourself to be able to care for other people. You like they say, serve others from your overflow. So it's a work in progress. It's never too late. You are never too old, and we always have something new. There are lots of opportunities out there, but we have to open our eyes to see them. We have to really open our eyes to see them. I really thank every one of you who is still here. We are talking and exchanging. The chat has been very busy. I really am proud of all of you amazing people who have decided to put yourselves first and who have decided to work on yourself, because it's more complicated trying to change other people. You are putting your energy where it doesn't serve you. Put your energy on you, serve you, and then you can serve others from your overflow. Fix yourself first, and it's easy to fix the other people. Like they say, don't go looking for the speck in somebody's eye when you have a whole lock in your own eye. Thank you, Rosanda. I really brought this topic today because most of the time, before we reinvent ourselves or reset our lives, we have to start by liberating what is inside. We have to liberate. We make space for the new things to come. If the new things are coming and there's no space, you can't put new wine in old bottles. It's not going to give you the good wine that you want. You have to find new bottles. How do we find new bottles? We liberate. And how do we liberate? We forgive people who the grudges we are holding on. We liberate ourselves from the practices and habits that are not helping us to grow. We liberate ourselves from the environments that are really not enabling for our progress. So the liberation is at several levels. And then once you have set the pace and cleared the foundation, it gives you lots of clarity. And then now you can start a new purpose driven life because you are making informed choices and you are taking empowered action. Empowered action means the action that you're taking now is focused on the goals that you have. You are not just acting at random. You are focused on your goals and you are acting to make them happen. So, first thing, you have to liberate yourself. And then, secondly, you have to know when is the time to move on. Because sometimes you liberate yourself and then you don't move on. Some people, they will just say, okay, uh, I've forgiven you, and then you stay in the same place. Like they say, every challenge comes not to break us, but to remake us. Our challenges are not there to break us. Our challenges are there to remake us. Like someone said, most of the time, the challenges or the problems that we have is God telling us, change direction. This is not the best place for you. You got to move from out of here. And so it's not like, okay, I've forgiven them. No, you have forgiven them. What next? What next? You have to always find what next because there's always a next level. There's never like the end till it's the end. There is always a next level. And it is your responsibility to find what is the next level for you. Nobody is going to find it for you. Somebody is going to help you to find your next, to help you to go through your next level, but you have to do it yourself. You have to find it, and then if you need help, you ask for help. So there's always a next level. And like my coach says, every level has a new devil. And what does that mean? Every new level needs new tools and new habits and new and really new things. And so, what is your next level? And how are you going to go through it? Find help, find a coach, find a mentor, find a community. What happens in a community? You see people doing things, you see people growing, and then even if you are not a very active type, progressively you learn and then you start doing. So finding a community is not like you just going to sit there. It's, I want to grow, I want to see how people do things, and I want to imitate the good things that will help me in my life. And so, for those of you who are in the live, and even those who are going to watch the replay, I would like you to leave your comments below. I would love to hear more about how do you perceive the signs and whispers that let you know that it's time to move on. And what happens when you are making big decisions, letting go. In your letting go decisions, how really do you go about it? Like I say, for me, I always put me first. I always find what I always know that I need to feel peaceful with my decision. And how do I feel peaceful with my decision? I have evacuated everything that is weighing me down. I have provided a safe and enabling environment for growth. I have liberated myself. And we know that talking about you, telling your story, sharing, sometimes you you feel vulnerable because you think that when you share your story, people will use it against you. But when you share your story, you are authentic. People like authentic, to deal with authentic people, and to trust the people they are dealing with. And there's no way you can gain people's trust than the best way you can gain people's trust is by sharing your story. So they identify with you, they know that you are like them. You have gone through some of the things that they are going through, and that you are a normal human being who is just doing some extraordinary things to become an extraordinary person. Or you are just like a normal human being who is trying to improve and who wants to grow and wants to use your gifts to grow. Like Microfarmer says, I love that I can learn customs for my comfort at home. This platform is great to learn from others. Absolutely. That's one of the things that, like they say, in every challenge, there is a blessing. We had COVID, people went to lockdown, and we learned how to live online. And I can tell you, most often, the communities that we have met online have helped us so much more than even the people that we met physically. It's a new lifestyle. You are absolutely right. There's no more excuse of being ignorant because the world became smaller by YouTube and internet. You don't need a lot of money to travel. You are absolutely right. I love this way of thinking because they say the person that has traveled knows a lot of things. But today, you don't need to travel to all those places to see all those people. You are watching people from all over the world. That's true. We had this when I started this live. There were people who were watching from Africa, from Europe, from North America, from Australia, from Malaysia. Peter came in right from Malaysia. And so it's a small world now. You can share so many things. And you can really, the best thing is, you know that you are not alone. Sometimes when we used to pass through certain things, we thought that, oh, this is the end of my life. I'm alone. I can't handle this no more. People share their stories, and you say, what? And you say, oh my goodness, I thought that I had seen worse. I didn't know that it could get worse than what I have experienced. And that is really so helpful. So people are growing with the internet, and they, oh, sorry about that. I wanted to click something and I clicked my camera. Sorry about that. So the internet has, like they say, has made us into a global village. We think that we, like when we are talking, you think that the person you're talking to is next door. And there are so many people willing to share their stories, their experiences, and share new ways of doing things. So this is a big opportunity for everyone. You don't need money. You don't need a lot of money to travel. Just go online. And YouTube, I used to hear when they call it the YouTube streets. And I finally understood. I said, oh yes, the YouTube streets means YouTube is a whole world. The streets, you have a lot of people you can meet and all of that. So it's a beautiful thing that we have all these online outlets where we can meet, we can share our experiences, we can learn, we can grow together. And the beauty of it is that there are so many people out there who are just willing to help. Just ask for help. There are people out there who are willing to help you. Yes, boss, I used to hear YouTube streets, YouTube. I used to hear YouTube streets, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I finally got it. It's a whole world, and it's a beautiful world because there is everything in YouTube. It's you can sometimes you just need to, like I always tell people, I didn't know about learning on YouTube because most of the time, like us in Africa, most of the time we used to go to YouTube just to listen to music because it was cheaper for us than to buy the original CDs and stuff. So you go to YouTube and listen to music. But you know what YouTube does? YouTube helps you to find your community because they know the kind of things that you look for, and they suggest like-minded things that are related to what you're looking for, and they make life so easy for you. All of the social media, even Facebook, even Instagram, you go to Twitter, you go online, anything that you search. Let me not even talk about Google. If you Google one thing, every day they are going to send you the things that, and before you know it, you have most of the things that you want to find out. They just pop up. You don't need to look for them again. And so it's a beautiful community. It's a beautiful world we have today because everything is just at the tip of your fingers, at the click of your mouse, and you find it. Like some of us who used to resist new technology, I used to like, okay, my phone is just to call and receive, until I found out that I can't do an Instagram live from my laptop. It took me time to realize that you can't do an Instagram live on your laptop. You have to do it on your you have to do it on your on your on your phone. And it was so funny because I was like, where am I living? I don't really, I will tell you every day, I come from the generation that will go to the library and borrow a book. I don't know, I didn't know how to use my phone other than just to call and receive. But I learned, and look at me now doing a live show. I couldn't imagine that I would one day sit and be doing a live show and sharing and really learning from you all. I really learned from everybody, and it's so beautiful because you really like some far off countries where you thought that people were living differently, like most often people think that in Africa we live on trees. No, we don't live on trees. And we wear clothes. In fact, we make our own clothes and we make beautiful clothes. So with the internet, people like, oh my goodness, I didn't know Africa was so beautiful. Yeah, Africa does not only have beautiful people, Africa has beautiful places. So we are learning. I myself, I also learn about so many places. I used to have some, not negative, I used to really have some really lack of knowledge, I would call it, about so many places. But with the internet, you click and you will see those places. They are so amazing. So it's a new world, and we have to really always profit from the opportunities in front of us. Always learn how to profit from the opportunities, because what is opportunity if we don't seize them? And we can't sit there and think that, oh no, life is so difficult, when there are so many things that make life easy. The life is so easy now. Look at what happened during the pandemic. The lot of people who did not used to cook, who were used to eating in restaurants and places, what happened to them? They learned how to cook. Where did they go? YouTube. Because in YouTube, they will show you how to cook what you want to eat. I mean, showing you like from the ingredient, from the recipe, they show you the ingredients. So even if you don't know the names, they show you, and you know how to go and buy them from the supermarket. So they show you the ingredients, they show you the process of cooking it, and there's no excuse for you not eating what you want to eat because you don't know how to cook it. Go to YouTube and find a how to video for everything that you want to do. Almost everything, you will have it, and then follow the steps practically, and you will find it. Oh, Marlene, I'm so proud of having you and Boss and all of the people in the chat, everybody that came, and even you all that are going to watch the replay. Thank you so much for everything. Yes, I'm going to end at the top of the hour, and it's been a very, very interesting show. And then we would really continue all of these interesting topics. You see, we had a lot of ideas about how people go about looking for forgiveness and how they do things. So have a great day, you too. So you just need to, like Microfarmer says, now there's no excuses anymore. The world is at your fingertips. Yep, the world is at your fingertips, because you just need to be willing to learn and grow. Be willing to learn new things, because there's no way, you don't have a way out. There are new things every day, and you just really need them. You have to grow, and you have to continue learning. Even if you don't want to learn it, life will impose it on you. What did they say? Life gives you the test before the lesson. School gives you the lesson before the test. But what does life do? You have the test before you learn your lesson. So what are you going to do to be proactive, to learn, or you want to get the test and learn from when you fail? The choice is yours. Life gives you the test, and then you learn the lesson. School gives you the lessons, and then they give you the test. So you have all the time to prepare for your test, and then you can cram everything that they taught you, and then you go and write it and pass. That's not the way life is. Life gives you the test first, and then you get burned, and then you look for the lesson. Yes. Also, you can call people all over the world for free Instagram. Have it where you have internet. It's relatively free. You just need to have your phone and put some data there, especially for us in Africa, where communication and new technologies are a big challenge. And also we really have a challenge of having power. But people are doing a lot of things. People are doing a lot of things. If you want to learn, like they say, when you know your why, you will find a how. Those who want to learn, they always find a way to learn. Those who don't want to learn, they always find excuses. But it is always possible, because nothing is far-fetched, nothing is out of your reach. Everything is within reach. It's true that you might not have you don't need a lot of money to start big. You start small and you grow in the process. You start the process and then you progress in the process. But if you don't have a process, you cannot have progress. You have to have the process, and then you progress in the process. Yes, like now we are using StreamYard. We had some amazing sisters who came up the panel to share their ideas and their views. And it was such a great conversation, because we always learn from sharing, and we always learn by being together in a community of like-minded people who are willing to grow, who are willing to use their challenges, look for the lessons, and grow. So it's been a very beautiful Monday morning, Monday live show. We've learned a lot of things. We learned about what forgiveness is, and we said forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you, because you want to liberate yourself and you want to find clarity to move on. And we also agree that it's not easy to forgive and forget. Hi, my daughter coming in at the last minute. We are going to go out in the next 3 minutes. Today we talked about forgiveness, what forgiveness means to you, and we agree that it's not easy to forget. But one important thing that came up and all of us were unanimous about was prayer will help you to have peace of mind. Prayer means you hand it to God to give you peace. You hand it to God and then you receive peace in return. And so, yes, you can watch the replay, and you leave your comments and your thoughts about the topic. It's so important sharing, because today we learn a lot about the role of prayer. Prayer is free, and prayer, you don't need to take an appointment with God. You just need to go knock the door and say, Papa, now this one is above me, help me, show me what next step to take, and he will show you. And then we also talked about, when do you know it's time to let go? Some people said you feel it, you follow your intuition that this is time to let go. Some people said it is not easy to let go until you find peace. All of them are really workable, but you have to be intentional. You have to focus and be intentional, because you want to grow. And so the decisions that you're making and the action that you're taking is intended for you to have your peace of mind and for you to grow. And we say that it's not easy to move on, because it's habits that we've had for long. It's a process, and it takes time. But we are saying we have to start, because once you start, you can easily keep going, and then you trust the process, because progress comes with doing every day. If you don't start, it's not really easy. You have to start to be able to know that you are progressing, that you are moving on, and that you are giving yourself the best. So I'm really grateful to all of you who have graced this live show, who have shared your ideas and your opinions. I thank you all. And for all of you who are going to watch the replay, please leave your comments on the subject, on the topic, and then any other topics that you would like us to discuss later. You are welcome to give suggestions. And thank you all for sharing out this live stream. I thank you all for coming today, because you could have been doing something else, but you choose to be here. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. I honor all of you. I celebrate all of you. And I am grateful that I am part of your community, that I am part of your life, and that I am part of your journey, because you are good people. And I am in the business of collecting good people. And so, thank you all. I want to wish everybody a very productive week, and we will have another live show same time on Wednesday. Thank you all, and have a blessed day. Love you.